Oh, wait, you're listening?
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
You're
Listening
to Radio Lab.
For kids!
Radio Lab.
From
WNYC.
See?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Imagine.
Your arms fall off. And then your legs fall off.
And the only way you can get around
Just to sort of wiggle.
and you shrink.
You're smaller than your dog. You're smaller than a peanut.
Your skin turns kind of see-through and your eyes disappear.
And instead of liking like candy, all you want to eat is dead flesh.
Ugh. You have become
A maggot.
No! Why?
Well, did you know that maggots are actually baby flies?
Oh, they're little babies?
Yeah, and if you stick with me, I promise, you're going to go from thinking these maggots are the grossest things ever to actually really liking them. You might even love them.
I'm dubious, but okay. Oh my gosh, I forgot to do the most important part. Now is the part where I make you sing the theme song with me.
Okay.
Terrestrials, terrestrials, we are not the worst, we are the
Terrestrials.
Yeah!
Terrestrials.
Terrestrials is a show where we uncover the strangeness waiting right here on Earth. I am your host, Lulu Miller, joined as always by my songbud, Alan.
Maggot my way downtown.
And today's very special storyteller is coming to us straight from the emergency room.
Hey,
Who are you, sir?
my name's Avir Mitra.
So you are an ER doctor, yeah?
Yeah,
And where do you doctor?
at NYU in New York City.
What do you love about this work?
Well, all these people, they have problems, and I can help them, and I can make them feel better. And sometimes I can save their lives.
And the story he has today is about why he thinks one way to save lives is maggots.
Yes.
All right. And now, friends, is where I do an official disclaimer, because there is some stuff ahead that might make some people a little squeamish, because we're talking about bugs, and we are talking about medical treatments for scrapes and wounds. Not necessarily everybody's cup of tea, but for those of you who have not already hit the stop button, I would encourage you to listen with an open mind, because not only are you in for a really cool animal story, today's episode is secretly about what can happen when you push through disgust. When you just pow, 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 bat back disgust with curiosity. Pow, pow, pow.
It can take us to amazing places.
Okay, you believe in me? You think I can make it?
I think you can make it.
You think I can maggot?
We're going to maggot to the other side.
All right, let's do this thing. All right, so the story of these little gnarly babies starts with their mom, the mama fly.
Right. So, like, it turns out like just a normal fly, like a fruit fly or house fly that's flying around, you know?
Yeah, just bzz, annoying, want to swat it.
If it lands on something that it thinks is tasty, like maybe a rotten piece of meat or some poop or something, it'll deposit eggs into that. And those eggs will hatch and become maggots.
Huh, so those little white wormy things, they're just newborns?
Yeah, and when you think about it that way, they start to go from being gross to kind of cute.
Oh, maybe we need a cuter name. Can we just call them Maggies?
Sure, I guess. Yeah, okay.
Sweet little Maggies.
I'm just a little baby.
They don't have eyes, but they can actually see light through their skin.
That's cool.
Yep, and if you look at them up close under a microscope, they
Uh-huh.
actually look like little walruses.
Oh my gosh, they really do look like little blubbery walruses with little tusks.
I know, and those little roly-poly rolls, they help them wiggle around even though they don't have legs.
Neat.
Yeah, and they're eating so much, they basically double size every 24 hours.
Ooh, Maggie hungry.
Like, imagine if that happened to you. Like, you eat a big dinner, you wake up the next day. you're
Tomorrow I'm like 10 feet tall.
like, yeah, how cool is that?
Yeah, that is cool.
They're only maggots for like 3 to 7 days. And then they got to get ready to become flies. Their shell hardens into a sort of cocoon.
Oh, kind of like a caterpillar becoming a butterfly?
Right. Yeah.
You know, thinking about them as little walrus-looking caterpillars actually kind of helps my body just chill out a little, like not be as grossed out. So I think I'm ready to hear the tale. Where does your Maggie adventure begin?
I just finished med school, so I'm a brand new doctor.
Okay.
So I have this title. People are calling me doctor, but I'm still kind of a little nervous because I don't really know too much.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll never forget this day.
Nervous new Dr. Avir checks the list of patients who need help and picks a guy with foot pain, thinking that'll be an easy one.
Exactly. All right, I got this.
Yeah.
So I sign up for this patient. I go in the room, and right away, I notice something's a little off. So I ask him, all right, sir, what's going on? And he looks a little embarrassed, and he just sort of points to his foot. And as I'm looking, I see little wiggling around his foot.
And there were Maggies in a wound on this guy's foot.
And next thing I know, my head starts spinning. I feel nauseous, but I'm trying to play it cool because I would feel really bad if I looked at a guy's foot who's a patient and then I threw up on his foot.
Yeah.
So I just go, okay, I'll be right back. No problem. Walk out, close the door behind me. I was flabbergasted. I didn't know what I'd seen. It's actually a condition called myiasis.
Myiasis?
Yeah, which means when a person is infested with maggots.
Like you have a wound from some kind of injury and somehow a fly lays its eggs inside?
Exactly.
Now, Avir says this is really pretty rare, and you don't need to worry if a fly lands on you, even if you have a cut nearby. In this case, Avir's patient had a really bad wound that was left untreated for a very long time.
And I never heard of this before, and I didn't learn about this in med school. I don't know if I just fell asleep that day in class, but I just don't ever remember hearing about that before.
Okay, so back to our guy in the ER that day. I mean, was he okay? What happened with him?
My head doctor, she used little vacuum suction things. You know when you go to the dentist?
Oh, that seems like a good way.
Yeah.
And she got them all out?
Yeah, and I was just peeking over her shoulders because I was grossed out. She bandaged up his wounds and sent him on his way, and he was very thankful.
But later that night, back in his apartment, Avir did something that I think very few of us would. Instead of staying grossed out, Avir decided to give Maggies another chance. He started researching, trying to understand what was happening to the man's body and to the bugs. And at some point, deep into the night, he stumbled across something from thousands of years ago.
All I know is that from that moment on, I was never the same.
He found a totally different way of understanding what a Maggie in a wound meant.
And I thought, if I ever see this again, maybe I could totally flip this whole thing. What if I don't take them out? In fact, maybe we put maggots onto wounds.
Wait. Okay, that is wild. Are you a mean doctor trying to cause harm?
No. See, I actually have a different theory that maybe these maggots are the best things ever. To explain that, we got to take a detour and talk about motorbikes.
Oh, okay. Motorcycles?
Yeah.
All right, vroom vroom.
There's this woman I talked to. Her name was Diana Dupuis. She had a motorcycle. I imagine her zipping down the California coastline, fresh air all around her. But one day, she injured her foot.
Okay.
She went to the doctor, they put her in a cast, and when you get a cut, when you scrape your skin, you get a bunch of bleeding, but then it turns into a scab, and then it slowly heals, right?
Yeah, right. Scabs are gross looking, but they're good, right?
They're good because it's you healing that wound.
Okay.
But in order for a wound to heal, you need to get all these new cells and oxygen and all this good stuff to that wound, and it has to come through the blood.
Okay.
The roads that the blood travels on, those are called vessels.
So the blood vessels are the
highway to heal.
Yes, exactly. And sometimes people may not have great vessels. So it's sort of like that highway to heal has potholes in it. And the blood that's trying to bring the healing to the wound, it has trouble getting there.
Oh, got it.
And when that happens, instead of a wound healing, the wound can slowly turn black. And that means the tissue is literally dying. So Diana, when they took off the cast, they realized that the wound wasn't healing right.
Weeks had gone by and the wound looks worse and worse.
Oh, is this her?
Yeah, I called her up and I talked to her one afternoon.
The wound just started oozing. It just looked infected. It looked nasty.
So a part of her body, a part of her leg is dying?
The medical term is called gangrene. It looks like zombie tissue.
Once you get there, is there any way to resurrect the tissue around the wound?
No, once it's dead, it's dead.
Oh, man. So this was starting to happen to Diana?
This was starting to happen to Diana.
Scary. So what do you do?
Well, if you want to make a wound heal, there's some steps that we take as doctors.
Now, to understand how our little Maggies will become a part of this story, we all need to briefly go to medical school. Everyone got their little white coats on?
Yep.
Today's lesson, Wound Treatment 101. We're going to break it down into 3 simple steps.
Scrape, clean, wrap.
Ready? Let's heal.
So generally, the first thing you want to do is take a scalpel, which is like a surgeon's knife,
Scrape, you want to scrape away the dead flesh from the area.
to make room for the new tissue to grow instead,
Clean, antibiotics kill the bacteria.
to make sure what's left of the dead flesh doesn't spread.
Wrap, carefully changing the bandage every day.
Wrap it up nice, real good, real great.
And if that doesn't work,
Which sometimes it doesn't, you amputate that part of the body. You just cut it off.
And why do you have to do that?
Because if you leave dead tissue on your body, it's just going to keep spreading.
So what about our friend Diana?
It was getting close.
It was at that point I realized I'm in danger of getting a bone infection, which could cause them to amputate my foot.
And Diana's just like, are you kidding me? You're going to cut off my foot? Like, no. So she is panicking. Is there anything else we could do?
So she's like taking matters into her own hands as she's sick.
Yeah, researching, calling around.
And that is when she comes across Maggies.
Like, have you ever heard of therapy dogs?
Yeah, sure. Like a dog in a little vest that's trained to help soothe your anxiety or whatever.
Right. And you could have like a pony or a cat. But Diana had just stumbled across a doctor offering therapy maggots.
Okay, what?
Yes.
Wow.
Not to make your mind or heart feel better, but actually to help your wound.
Okay. How on earth that could work? After this break. Terrestrials is back. We're in a medical mystery. Diana's wound is getting worse, but she's just found out that baby flies, aka Maggies, could maybe help her?
Right.
And as Dr. Avir explains, this belief about these little creatures being helpful to us goes back thousands of years.
In ancient times, people used to use maggots for wounds. In fact, there's references to it in Egyptian literature.
Wow.
And in ancient Aboriginal tribes in Australia, that is part of their oral tradition. They would say, yeah, we use maggots. That's what's been told to me by my dad and my dad's dad and my dad's dad's dad. And we've just been
The list went on and on, from Central America to Syria to Myanmar. There were indigenous healers and doctors throughout history who treated patients by putting or leaving Maggies in their wounds, including a surgeon from France who was treating soldiers during a time of war.
He found soldiers' injuries that had maggots would do better than the injuries that didn't have maggots. And he wrote that down in his journal.
Fascinating.
And eventually, this long history of people using maggots to treat wounds, it came to the attention of a doctor in California named Dr. Ron Sherman, who wondered, wait, have I been trained all wrong?
Right. Are maggots in wounds really parasites? Or is this a symbiotic relationship?
Good for both the human and the maggot?
Yeah, like we help them and they help us.
And this is the doctor that Diana stumbled across, the doctor offering therapy maggots to heal her wound. Because by this point in the story, Dr. Ron had done experiments. In particular, one really big experiment.
He takes 100 patients. They all have these bad wounds that are like Diana's, like they're not healing well. So for all 100 of them, they're going to do the regular scrape, clean, wrap treatment. Scraping away dead tissue, disinfecting with antibiotics.
And wrapping it up with a bandage?
Very good. But for half of them, he's actually going to put maggots into their wounds.
Woo!
I don't know how he convinced 50 people, but he did it.
Whew.
He takes some special sterilized medical maggots, he sprinkles them in each patient's wound, and then covers it with a bandage. And then every couple days, he takes the Maggies out, leaves the wound alone for a couple days, puts some new Maggies in, wraps it up again, and they just keep doing this. They keep repeating the cycle.
I didn't know how I was going to respond to them.
This is our friend Diana again, who ended up going for it. After her injury wasn't healing, she reached out to Dr. Ron and ordered up some Maggies.
I didn't know if it was going to make me vomit. I didn't know if it was going to make me pass out and dizzy.
Does it hurt to have maggots like chewing away at your wound? That sounds really painful.
Not necessarily.
What you do feel is them getting bigger and they wiggle. You can feel them wiggling around.
Inside of your wound.
Pow, pow, pow. I am batting back disgust with curiosity. So what did Dr. Ron find after doing this incredibly fascinating experiment?
Without maggots, about half of the wounds were getting healed.
5 out of 10. Not great.
But then with the 50 people who got maggots,
Yeah?
80% of their wounds were healing.
Whoa, 8 out of 10. So most of them, that's a lot better.
And I have these pictures here you could see. Look at this foot.
Oh, man. There's like a lot of like black tissue around.
Yeah. So they put maggots in, and you could see every week the foot gets less gross looking. It's starting to look more pink. It's starting to look better. And by the end, the foot heals up.
So they're like stopping the spread of that dead tissue.
They were healing really fast, which is exactly what happened with Diana.
After the first dose, it was almost 75% gone. And that was in just 48 hours.
Whoa.
Yep. And today, her leg,
I can wear stiletto high heel shoes. I ride a motorcycle. It's perfect.
So has she completely returned to full health?
yeah,
That's incredible. Go, Diana. It was brave to do that.
absolutely.
But a question still remained. How? How were the Maggies healing the wounds better than doctors?
Are you ready to like put yourself in the mind of a maggot?
Let's shrink on down and enjoy the ride.
All right. So we all now know that maggots are just baby flies.
Right.
What do babies like? They like milk. But just like babies who like milk, well, me as a maggot, I don't want to be chewing on solid stuff. I want liquid.
I'm a baby
I'm a baby.
who eats dead flesh.
So they actually have these digestive enzymes in their bellies.
Okay.
Just like we do.
Enzymes, little chemicals that then they spit out of their bellies onto the human's wound.
When the enzymes mix with this dead flesh, it dissolves it basically like a smoothie. Yeah, I know, gross. But that liquefying process, it's kind of magic because it lets them clean away the dead flesh even better than a scalpel. And it doesn't stop there. Remember those 3 steps of wound care?
Scrape, clean, wrap.
Just watch how these maggots do each step better. First up,
Scrape the Maggie, scrape away the dead flesh from the area.
Oh, just like a scalpel.
an even gentler scalpel. Plus, they can squirm their little bodies into places a scalpel can't even reach.
Ooh, precision wiggle.
Next up, clean.
Antibiotics kill the bacteria.
They actually also have their own special antibiotic in their bellies. It's called lucifensin.
Wait, why would they have an antibiotic in their belly?
The maggots don't want to get infected by bacteria either. So they're just protecting themselves, killing all the bacteria to make it safe for them too.
Is lucifensin something that like doctors have in their medicine cabinets?
No, we never heard of it before.
Whoa, it's like their own special way to disinfect.
Yeah. And finally, you remember that third step?
Wrap.
Carefully changing the bandage every day.
Now, maggots, they aren't becoming bandages, right?
Okay.
But one of the reasons doctors wrap wounds is to keep the area moist so new tissue can grow. And it turns out maggots stimulate growth in their own special way. Remember, the reason the wound wasn't healing in the first place is because those wounds didn't have great blood flow.
Right. There might be like potholes on the...
Highway to heal.
So somehow these maggots are stimulating the body to produce more and better vessels to the wound.
What? So the blood can flow and then also heal the wound that way?
Yeah, somehow these maggots are communicating with the human body saying,
Build those roads.
Okay. The Maggies get a round of applause. They get the highest honors. This is incredible.
crazy, right?
Yes.
And this is way better than a surgeon. When a surgeon's cutting away things, maybe sometimes they leave a little dead tissue. Maybe sometimes they cut away some living tissue.
Yeah.
But these maggots are perfect. They only want the dead tissue, and they go into every little nook and cranny and find all of it without hurting any of the living tissue.
They really are healers.
Yeah.
I do wonder, like, if it was known in all these places, like ancient Egypt and Central America and Australia and Asia, like if it was known, I wonder when it got unknown, when it got forgotten, when it turned from, as you say, symbiosis and healing to like utter disgust?
I think we're living in the height of the era of cleanliness. It's only been in the past couple hundred years that we realized that being clean, using antibiotics can really help us. But now we look at everything that's a little dirty as bad, and we just want to be completely rid of any little bugs, worms, and microbes. I think we've lost something because there are certainly some bad bugs, but there's also some good ones.
So in this desire to be clean and pristine, we've kind of washed away some of our friends.
I think we've gone a little bit too far. And I think over the next 50 years, we're going to start working our way back to seeing some of them as our friends again.
It's a love-hate relationship, the way I let you under my skin. But when the wound won't heal, I'm gonna fight my fear. I'm gonna let you in, yeah, I'm gonna let you in. I was hurt, it was hard, I was falling apart,
But you warmed your way into my life.
and then you said goodbye. Fly, baby, fly. I was hurt, it was hard, I was falling apart, but you warmed your way into my life. And then you said goodbye. Fly, baby, fly. I never wanted it to end up this way.
Now I'm trying to heal from my past mistakes.
Sticks and stones break the skin.
Yeah, accidents happen.
But I can't heal this affliction when I feel the infection. It's a love-hate relationship, the way I let you under my skin. But when the wound won't heal, I'm gonna fight my fear. I'm gonna let you in, yeah, I'm gonna let you in. I was hurt, it was hard, I was falling apart, but you wormed your way into my life. And then you said goodbye. Fly, baby, fly. I was hurt, it was hard, I was falling apart, but you wormed your way into my life. And then you said goodbye. Fly, baby, fly.
Alan Goffinski, everybody, and there's nothing else cool about that. What's that?
Excuse me, I have a question.
Me too.
Me 3.
Me 4.
The Badgers. Listeners with badgering questions for the expert. You ready?
Okay.
Hi, my name's Lyra. I am 5 years old. What animal will make the best ER doctor?
I honestly think a puppy dog would be the best ER doctor because you gotta be very curious and go up to everyone and sniff around and look at things. That's how you take care of people. You don't have to be really smart, but you have to be really curious and you have to be really interested in people. And that's how you can make good diagnoses in the ER.
Ooh, question from me, Lulu, 42. Can anyone get medical maggots now, like to treat a wound?
Yeah, Dr. Ron started a business selling medical maggots, now called Monarch Labs. He actually got his wife to help him.
We run a low-cost operation.
Is that him?
That's him. They started breeding these medical maggots. So now if a doctor wants one, he'll ship it out to them.
And it's just like maggots in a bag?
It's just maggots in a bag.
When we receive a request, we can usually send the maggots out same day for overnight delivery.
Airmail?
Yeah, because they're going to turn into flies otherwise.
Right, you're racing time.
Fly me to the wound. Let me snack among the scars.
Okay, Alan. Oh, gotta love Alan.
Hi, I'm Joe, age 37. What's the least urgent thing anyone's ever come into the emergency room for?
Oh, I have a really good one.
Okay.
I once had a girl come in because her arms had turned purple.
Oh, that feels legit.
Right. She was like, I'm freaking out. I don't know what's going on. And I'm looking at her arms and I was like, all right, were you wearing anything purple? And she's like, yeah, I do have a purple sweater. So then I just took an alcohol swab and I started rubbing her skin and it just came off. It was just ink from this purple sweater. Her face turned red. She was so embarrassed.
Wow, from purple to red.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Phineas. I am 7 years old. What is the most useful tool to an ER doctor?
A pen.
A pen?
So I can remember things.
Oh, Oh, the most important part is listening to the patient and taking notes?
I think so.
Well, that's very beautiful.
My name is George. 4. Does a kiss really heal a boo-boo?
Does a kiss really heal a boo-boo?
100% kisses
really?
do help boo-boos. The reason I say that is because when you believe something's going to be better, it often actually does help. And that's called the placebo effect.
Wow.
And so it's important to think that kisses do help boo-boos.
I love that.
Hi, this is Ana, producer Bud. I'm 31 years old. My question is, what's your favorite organ?
The liver. The liver has to basically filter and detoxify every single thing that goes into your body. Your liver has to figure out for each thing, like, how do I turn it from what it is into something that's useful for you?
Okay, and then can you improvise a song about that favorite organ?
Should I bring a guitar over? Okay, hold on. This is going to be terrible. All right, let's see. Can you help me? I'll do a line, you do a line or something?
Yeah, sure. Okay, we'll co-improvise. Okay.
I like a liver.
As an organ, it makes me shiver.
Because of livers, I live.
Because of livers, I live. There we go. Okay. Beautiful. That was great.
Oh, my God.
I think that is where we gotta leave it.
2, 3, 4. Because of livers, I live.
Terrestrials was created by me, Lulu Miller, with WNYC Studios. This episode was produced by the magnificent Alan Goffinski, with sound design so good I'm bugging by Mira Burt-Wintonick. Our executive producer is Sarah Sandbach. Our team also includes Ana Gonzalez, Tanya, Chawla, and Plourde. Fact-checking by Natalie Middleton.
I like a liver. As an organ, it makes me shiver. Because of livers, I live. Because of livers, I live.
Huge thank you to Dr. Avir Mitra. If you liked his storytelling, he tells a ton more medical stories over at Radiolab. Just look for Avir Mitra and Radiolab, and you'll find like 5 or 6 of them. There's some about vultures, some about lead, some about breast milk, some about CPR. They are all an incredible time. Exciting news. Next season, we want to do a season that is entirely based on listener suggestions, the animals, the plants, the creatures you want episodes about. And we are just starting to collect that data. So to submit your episode, go to the link in the show feed. It's called Terrestrials Survey. And you can click, tell us what animal you want to hear a Terrestrials about. It might not be maggots. Maybe you do want a maggots. Maybe you want a maggots part 2. I don't know.
Because of livers, I live.
Support for Terrestrials is provided by the Simons Foundation, the Arthur Vining Davis Foundations, and the John Templeton Foundation. Thank you! Special thanks to Jamie Albright, Kid Advisor Kai, and Mama Fly Maya. Congrats for making it all the way to the end of an episode about using maggots to treat wounds. You know what they say, time flies when you're having flies. All right, enough out of me. See you in a couple spins in this dirty old planet of ours.